Obviously, Buhari wants to liquidate Biafra before he lets them go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening if you are watching. I am Robinson Ambrose Afam Efuna. This is Miro African Diaspora TV. Mad. Welcome to Biafra Today. This is essentially a program where we discuss social and political issues as well as cultural issues affecting the life of Biafrans home and abroad. In today's program, we would like to talk about President Buhari's recent approval of a loan of $22.72 billion and how this is viewed as a move by Buhari to plunge Biafra land into liquidation before he lets them go. Earlier in 2016, Buhari had asked the 8th Assembly to approve plans to borrow money for building infrastructure in the country. However, this was rejected by the upper legislative chamber under the leadership of Bukola Saraki. Just recently, the Senate approved President Muhammadu Buhari's request to borrow $22.72 billion despite objection from some senators, particularly Senator Aberibe, who suggested that the projects meant for the loan should be specified and not just on the basis of building infrastructure. For the fact that they do not specify the infrastructure they intend to build, people on the one hand think that Fulani government is once again up with their usual trick of borrowing money in the name of one Nigeria, while they use it only in furnishing their imaginary Arewa Islamic Republic. Remember, they have already Ishba police implementing their Sharia laws and Boko Haram as their military defense, while they at the same time tease the rest of the country with the idea of one Nigeria. It is in the light of being conscious of this treacherous behavior that people also think that the approved loan is a move by Buhari to liquidate Biafra before he let them go. The fund would come from the African Development Bank, the World Bank, Islamic Development Bank, creditors in China, Japan, and Germany. The loan, when secured, would, however, raise the country's total debt burden to $110.29 billion, equivalent of 33.85 trillion naira. This will effectively bring Nigeria back to the infamous class of heavily indebted nation which it was. It should be recalled in this respect that Nigeria just in 1999, under Obasanjo's leadership, was granted discharge from debt accumulated by previous leadership from the north. The grant was engineered by Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Mrs. Okonjo had convinced the London and Paris clubs of creditors to write off Nigerians' nearly $30 billion accumulated loans. The fact that Buhari's cabinet is made up of his kinsmen should be a clear indication and insight that this loan is equally going to be invested for the well-being of his tribe. And also, going by the fact that the head of the Senate is from his own part of the region shows there will not be any check and balance. The right group said, in quote, "The greatest threat to national security is the lopsided appointment of person from the Muslim Hausa Fulani section of the north of the country to head all the vital national security institutions." End of quote. In respect to this statement, a government made of one ethnic group cannot claim to have the interest of the rest of the country with regards to the borrowed money. The senator representing Anambra South in the Nigerian Upper Legislative Chamber, Dr. Ifeanyi Uba, has asked for the inclusion of the Southeast Zone in the approved loan. However, we cannot expect that his request will be granted, given that the Southeast has been hitherto economically marginalized. Take, for instance, the issue of roads in Nigeria. You have more federal roads infrastructure in the north than in the east. And in the railway section, you have rail railway construction being built in the northern regions that have no single economic contribution. This, however, will not be the first time the northern leaders will use the resources of the south to build the north. The idea is that Buhari is aware that Biafra is coming and so wants to take loan in the name of one Nigeria, only to use it for fixing the infrastructure of the north. The big question now is how the debt would be shared after Nigeria's disintegration. There has been some opinion about how the debt would be shared. There is an idea that says if Nigeria breaks up, the debt will be shared among components with proportions of population density and land scale occupants. There is another idea which says the debt should be shared based on the utilization of the borrowed money. This implies that if the borrowed money was used for building, for instance, railway in a specific region, this region will have to be responsible for paying back of that money. You have to understand this in the terms of corporation business, where profit and loss are shared in form of dividends. The essence of today's topic is not only to give you the grounds to reflect on the continued and unabated mismanagement in Buhari's regime, but also to get your mind prepared for a possible upcoming debate about the share of the dividends with regard to the loan. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be notified anytime we post a new video. Once again, this is Miro African Diaspora TV, MAD. Enjoy your weekend till we come your way next time. Bye.